I'm Pastor Jay. We've been talking about the prophets. And the next prophet we're going to come to is King David. You think, well, how is King David a prophet? Well, we know his ventures with Goliath, where he slew Goliath with a stone and a sling. We know that he killed Uriah with the Hittite because he got Bathsheba pregnant, which was Uriah's wife. And we know kind of stuff like that. We knew that because he had multiple wives, it led him down a bad path, let's put it that way. But the thing we don't really realize, all the psalms that he put out, the songs of David. You know, the Psalms of chapter 2 talks about that, you know, that the nation was going to rise up against him. Well, he wasn't talking about him. He was talking about Jesus. How the leaders were going to compromise him. How they're going to slay him. But the one I want to really touch on is Psalms 22, where it's right out the gate. In verse 1 it says, my God, why have you forsaken me? Where have you heard that? Matthew chapter 27, when Jesus was on the cross. You know, then you go back, I'm going to read Psalms 22, verse 14 through 18. I am poured out like water. All my bones are out of joint. My heart is like wax. It is melted in midst of my bowels. My strength is dried up like a potsherd. My tongue cleaveth to my jaws. Thou hast brought me lower into the dust of the death. For dogs have compromised me, and they have assembled the wicked. They have pierced my hands and feet. Sound familiar? I'm telling all my bones, they look and stare at me. They part my garments among them and cast lots for my ventures. What does that sound like? Yeah, it sounds like the guards at Jesus when they're rolling to take his shirts and his clothes that he had on him. See, King David was a prophet. He was singing about Jesus and telling what was going to happen. And that's how God works. God usually, of all these prophets we've been talking about, is how God used them. Yeah, they did some stuff in their life. Samson, David, there was a bunch of them. Even Abraham did some stuff, lied when he shouldn't have. They're not perfect, but God uses imperfect people. He uses people that you wouldn't think he would use. You know, you look at the disciples, same way. We'll get to them a little bit later. But I'd like you to read more about David. It's very fascinating, and the things he done and the things he shouldn't have done. But God can use anyone.